by BP, and whenever a tanker is loading, there are always at least 2 tugs on safety standby beside the tavern. The tugs, named Dalmeny and Cramming, have a bollard pool of 60 tons, and the larger Hopton tug is the biggest harbour tug in Europe, with the incredible pulling power of 120 tons. All the tugs are equipped to cope with any fire or oil spillage incidents. Today, there have been no major incidents at Town Point, and it has one of the best safety records in the world. They can take the biggest tankers in the world at this terminal, and these huge ships can be filled with oil within 24 hours of arrival. Oil can be pumped in at a rate of up to 3 million gallons an hour. On the Fife coast, to the north of Inchcolm, is Brayfoot Bay Gas Terminal. Now this is a gas and ethylene exporting terminal operated jointly by Shell and Exxon. The gas is processed at Mossmorran, a few miles inland from here, and the LPG gas is pumped down here to Brayfoot to be loaded into gas tankers. Soon, we'll be arriving at Inchcolm. It's a beautiful island known as the Iona of the East because of the 12th century Augustinian Abbey, which is still in very good repair. In fact, it's the best preserved medieval abbey in Scotland and has become a popular and beautiful venue for weddings. You can wander through the timeless cloisters or climb up a narrow spiral staircase to the top of the tower. The abbey was built on the orders of King Alexander I, who was shipwrecked here while crossing the river in 1123. He was rescued and given shelter by a Christian hermit who lived alone on the island. And it's recorded that the king was fed on oysters and fresh milk from the hermit's cow. Once rescued, the king commissioned the abbey to be built as a thank you to God and the hermit. eastern half of the island through an old wartime ammunition tunnel, past some derelict gunnery positions, and up to a superb view of the whole island and indeed the Firth of Forth. The island has many nesting seabirds, and apart from thousands of herring and black-backed gulls, there are kittiwakes, fulmars, cormorants, oyster catchers, and eider duck. But the star of the show is the comical little puffins. They have established a small colony of them who come ashore here to nest between April and July every year. If you should venture out to the ends of the islands during the nesting season, take care that you're not attacked by the gulls, as they become understandably aggressive if you get too close to their nests or their young. There are two historic Scotland custodians who live for the island and keep the abbey and its grounds in immaculate condition. If you've purchased landing tickets at Inchcolm, please have them ready for when you go ashore. The custodian will be collecting them from you, and listen carefully to the skipper announcing the time that you need to be back on board. If you've purchased just 1.5 hour sightseeing tour tickets, please remain on the boat, and we will continue around the island and head back up to the bridges once we've dropped some passengers off.
Nigh impossible to see if this thing's actually recording. Yes, it is.
As we now depart from Inchcolm, we will head around the south side of the island, and you'll get some good views of the Oxcar lighthouse. This red and white tower is built on top of a very dangerous reef, and is a fine example of the work of the Stevenson family, who built most of the great lighthouses around Scotland, such as the Bells Rock Lighthouse and Skerryvore. This particular lighthouse was designed by David and Thomas Stevenson. It was completed in 1886 and became the world's first automatic lighthouse in 1894. Thomas Stevenson also built the lighthouse on Figura, an island at the entrance to the Forth. And this island is reported to be the inspiration behind the novel Treasure Island, written by his son, the famous Robert Louis Stevenson.
Those yellow cranes are down at Leeds. I didn't realize. Look forward to. Be able to shoot across there. There's nobody there, so as long as you got your zoom on, you can shoot across. Yeah, that works too. Go on up.
Cameras ready, as we're about to pass the picture postcard view of Inchcolm Abbey on your right. The little house to the left of the abbey is where the historic Scotland historians live all summer long. Just further along to the west, the cliffs with kittyworks and funerals. Both these birds look very like the herring gulls you frequently see in England. Kittiwakes and funerals are both true muddy rivers, and you very rarely see these away from the sea. After the nesting season is finished, they head back out to the open sea for the rest of the year. back towards the east, you can see that the string of islands and rocks stretch across the river at this point. This was a very useful natural line of defence during both World Wars. Massive anti-submarine nets were installed right across the river, starting at Cameron Island on the south shore, right across to Bayford Point on the front shore. This was the third line of defence at Fortress Fourth, which was created to protect the Royal Naval anchorage and the dockyard of the Bosonic. The second line of defence was out on Inchcolm Island, where there was a array of huge guns positioned to look out for and attack any enemy ships that tried to sneak up the river. The first line of defence was secret seabed sensor cables laid right across the estuary entrance, down by the Bass Rock and the Isle of Maid. This was a magnetic induction loop system that could detect any enemy submarines trying to enter the Forth and then alert the Royal Navy to respond.
Pretty clever. So relaxing out here. I love this. Little sparklies and birdies. Yeah, there's been a couple.